welcome to our second episode of Chismes Chingus.
Chismes Chingus, eh?
Chismes Chingus, eh?
My cat's looking at us like, what are you guys doing?
Having fun. What are you doing?
Welcome back, everyone.
He's trying to knock our camera stand over.
Yeah.
But we are back for episode 3 and 4 of Castaway Diva. I had to load. I was loading. For what the title of the drama that we're watching is, but we're back with episode 3 and 4, and oh my god,
I felt so many feelings. You saw me jump from the couch.
I know, she was screaming at me.
Me watching these dramas really brings like these emotions out of me. I feel emotional. I feel
emotional.
The emotions are so emotional. I feel. I cried this episode. I laughed.
Did I
this
cry?
Episode.
I don't think I cried this time around. I was stressed though.
I was a little stressed. It felt to me kind of like the ending of the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, I did see that. No, I did see that, but I don't remember it. Not really.
Yeah. It was intense. But before we get into the summary, the meat and potatoes, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of chisme. Let's share some chismes of the week. I'll go first. So for me, I was elated this week when I saw a song drop with Usher. It's the remix of Standing Next to You. If you guys have not heard Standing Next to You by JK, suggest it. But then Usher joined the mix and created a remix with them, or jumped on his remix. And let me tell you, 12 to 20-year-old me was jumping up and down because I felt like my two worlds were colliding. Like the Usher's 2004. I'd like to say I live in Usher's 2004 era. And then K-pop era, just it really, really made me happy. So I was very happy to be able to experience that.
I actually haven't heard it.
Oh, you have not?
No.
Stop. I don't know the lyrics, but it's really good. It's really, really good. So I would highly suggest that you guys take that out. And this week, they also dropped a TikTok video of Yeah by Usher.
That was exciting.
Yes, and they were dancing Yeah by Usher. And my little teenage girl heart was fluttered. I was happy. It was great. It was a great time. So that's my first chisme. My second chisme is also about music. ATEEZ dropped their new album, World Episode Fiend. Looks like this is like the trilogy to their 3 albums.
It's the end, right?
Yeah, and let me tell you, it is pretty fire. To me, it's a workout album, the first half. It's just very like...
I really like the title track.
I like the title track too. I also like it. It's called Everything, Everyone.
Everything by jong-hyeop.
Yes. Oh my God, so beautiful. I'm a ballad girly.
She's a bad.
I'm a bad girly. I'm a ballad girly. So I feel like anything that allows me to sing or keep a tone, it's just beautiful. So I really, really enjoyed that.
It was very beautiful.
And then my last thing I wanted to share today is P1 Harmony, which is a group that's under the same label, FNC, the same label as SF9, my favorite group, was invited to Jingle Ball for the first time. And that's a very big crossover to K-pop, since K-pop is it's big, like it's exploding or it's expanding, but it's still very small.
Monsta X performed at Jingle Ball a few years ago too.
Monsta X did perform at Jingle Ball a few years ago as well. Did they? I don't even know that. Oh,
yeah, they did.
Well, look at that. Well, yeah. So
it's big for P1 Harmony.
It's big for P1 Harmony because they come from a much, much smaller label. And it's still like a crossover. I feel like for a few years now, like now that I think about it, K-pop has tried to make the step into mainstream, and it wasn't until BTS and was it Butter or Dynamite? One of those 2 songs that really, really blew up and caught some of the attention. Like a bunch of armies started forming, and then BTS blew up, which opened the door for Blackpink. Because Blackpink got big after BTS. But I feel like after those 2, there hasn't been a group, aside from recently Stray Kids, that has really like injected themselves into the mainstream media. Because as much as the rest of the world doesn't like to hear this, the American media is quite literally, if you make it in America, you can make it pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a very tough market to break into.
We are literally a military operated country over here. So we have, if you break it with the Americans, you break it with everyone else. Truly, truly, truly. But yes, that's pretty much it. What I got for today. How about you? I have it here in my notes.
She has the holy outline of ours.
I know we're following the rules, right?
So the main thing, the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about was that 17 won many, many awards at Mama. And I was so happy for them. They first, like, before the big main thing, I don't even know if they performed after or before they got this award, but they won the Worldwide Fan Choice, which like people voted for them for that. They were one of the people that won. They got a Style and Culture Award by BBCO, which is primarily like for bringing positivity and inspiration to the public and whatever. And they do that very well. But then the greatest thing was when they got Album of the Year. Finally. I haven't been in a K-pop for that long. I haven't been a Carrot for that, like for even less time than that. But it made me so proud just because like I know their history and how long and how hard they've worked. And I was literal at my desk reading the translations, watching the video of them like giving their speeches, crying. Thank God I didn't have patience that day. I was just like, it's so beautiful. But I'm so happy for them. They've worked like so hard. And
what's the album of the year
for
called?
FML?
Desang?
Oh, a Desang?
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
I don't actually know. It's not because it's album of the year. Anytime that they win one of these awards that it's called the Desang. I don't know what that means actually. So we'll look that up.
We'll look it up. Or if you want to let us know in the comments, that would be really helpful.
And then the last thing is that today, where I'm currently sitting at this moment in time, ITZY this morning announced that they were going to be having a comeback in January, which I'm super excited about. And it is for a full-length album this time, which is going to be called Born to Be. And they announced a world tour for 2024.
Nice.
So I'm very excited. I really hope that I get the opportunity to see them.
Yeah.
Because for those of you who don't know, ITZY's my favorite girl group, and it makes me so happy to see them going on tour again. Because I don't remember the last time that they did. But
I didn't know they had. It's been a while. I don't know too much about girl groups, honestly. Like I said, we're very new to K-pop, like just generally. And my brain has been focused on boy groups because I like boys, you know. Girl groups are awesome too, like New Jeans to me.
I love my girl groups, I really do, but it's different. It just is. But no, ITZY is my top girl group, and then I like a few other ones that are like I listen to their music and I'm like, yeah, you go. But then other than that, it's like I listen to mostly boy groups.
Right.
So it is what it is. But that's all that I've got for news today.
Nice. Pretty good. Oh, I'll give you one more news one because I just thought about it right now. Okay. Vicha, the other day, the American A2K girl group, I'll let you announce it.
Oh, they're going to debut. Vicha's gonna debut. We actually watched the A2K show and saw them go through the entire competition series and then watched them go to Korea and then do the whole thing. So we're really proud of them, and we've seen them improve over the course of just like the show alone.
Right.
So I'm really seeing them like post online and like their latest videos and stuff. They've gotten so much better.
They have gotten
I'm really happy for them. Do you want to tell them who your Vicha bias is since we're here? Since we actually each have one?
I know. We decided to watch it's called America to Korea or A2K. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. But we just watched it kind of on a whim because it's under the same label. It's under the same label as Stray Kids, so JYP. But the minute that she was 12 at the time, her name is Kaylee. The minute this little girl walked onto this audition, she had her audition laid out for her. She prepared a 90-second vocal audition. She prepared a 90-second dance audition. And then once her 90 seconds was up, she stopped. Just like, okay, I'm done.
And he's like, well, are you going to keep going? She's like, no.
No, that's it. And then she explained, she's like, usually at auditions, we prepare 90 seconds worth of work. So I prepared 90 seconds worth of work. Like she was just she knew what she wanted. And she was so cute. At 12, she taught herself breathing exercises on YouTube. She taught herself how to sing, essentially, how to dance on YouTube. And I just think that's incredible for a 12-year-old. And now I think she's 14. Or she's about to be 14 because it's been a little over a year or a year and a half since they've done it. And oh my gosh, she just looks so much older.
Well, even just like when we were watching the show, like watching them, because they did the portion in America, in California, and then a few months went by and then they did the portion in Korea. And she changed so much just from when they were, like the footage from when they were in America to when they were in Korea. And she looks even more grown up now.
Yeah. So definitely check them out. They speak English. They're all American. And they are, I think, are they the first American K-pop group?
Like fully American? Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know.
So. I think they're the first of just American, not because I know obviously like Vernon and SVT, there's other ones that are American as well, but I think they're the only American, like full American K-pop.
They're the first group that was formed overseas.
Yeah.
Like for America specifically.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And then my bias is I'm really drawn to Lexi, which I guess is the leader, right?
Yeah, she's the leader. She was the first one that was selected.
And then Camilla is probably my second.
I love Camilla.
She's so talented, and she almost comes across like at first glance a little serious, but she's actually really goofy, and I like her a lot.
Yes. So check them out. Pretty good. We're
very excited. They're debuting in January. I cannot tell you the date because I don't
January 24th or 26th, if I'm correct. January 24th or 26th. I can look it up right quick, actually.
So she's going to look that up, and then we are going to move on to the summary of episodes 3 and 4.
Yes, we are. Give me a second. Ooh. You guys didn't hear that music at all. January 26th.
January 26th. Yay!
Yep. Yay! So congratulations, guys. We're rooting for you. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Episode 3 was kind of insane. Do you want to read the summary first, or would you like me to do it? All right,
I'll do it. So
prepare yourself. Lock down.
I'll do episode 3. So episode 3 starts with a flashback of Mocha on the island at the edge of a cliff, and it mirrors a memory of Ranju, who stands on a rooftop contemplating whether to jump or not. Mocha jumps, but Ranju doesn't. We notice that Ranju has a bandage on her neck, maybe a clue as to why she can't sing anymore. Sojun, Ranju's driver/manager/partner, which we did not see at all in episode 2, is holding a panel for the company we assume he built with her. He discusses the future of the company by rebranding with fresh new talent. Ranju, drunk and emotional, calls Sojun during the panel, and she seems to be writing a suicide note for him to release to the public. These events lead up to Ranju performing at the Dodok Festival, which we saw at the end of episode 2. One of the few jobs that Sojun is still able to book for her. She gets upset, but she freaks out when he calls her out for living in the basement of her fan club manager's house. They called him apparently because she can't afford to pay her rent anymore. So this is how you know that things are really bad. We get to the end of her performance at the festival where Ranju meets Mocha, and her performance goes viral. And the media agency that Bogle and Woohak work for, they really want to book her for that show Haiii. Bogle goes to arrange her appearance on the show, but Ranju's in a fan meeting with Mocha. Here, Mocha and Ranju share everything about her disappearance and how Ranju waited for her and wanted to sign her, but they went with someone else because she didn't show up, and then she went on to be a star, right? Ranju parts with Mocha and Woohak. He starts to argue with her because he's angry that Mocha didn't get her chance. He feels Kiho should have tried harder in making sure that she got to where she needed to be, that Ranju should give Mocha a shot now to make up for lost time. And literally right as he's yelling at her, Ranju comes back, and I thought, oh, she's going to give her chance, exactly like he said. But no, she asked them for a ride to Seoul because the latest It girl needs to be driven in the car that she was brought in, and so it belongs to her. I was cackling. Bogle comes home to a heated Woohak who is still fuming about Mocha being robbed of her chance at stardom, and in the heat of his rant gives away that he's hiding her in the attic. Meanwhile, Mocha lives out her fangirl fantasies, reenacting a performance with Ranju when Bogle storms in on them. Taken aback by the sight of Ranju, he introduces himself to both of them, and then he just leaves. A confused Woohak runs after him. Mocha shares a story about the time she tried to commit suicide with Ranju when she was on the island, the scene from the beginning of the episode. She said that she was saved by a floating icebox that carried a pack of ramyun and a single water bottle. She hadn't had ramyun in 6 years, and it was enough to make her hopeful again. Ranju opens up to Mocha about her developing nodes on her vocal cords and that she kept it a secret from everyone up until now, even her surgery. Her voice never recovered, and she started to lose her fans and booking less gigs and less gigs due to her bad performances. It then cuts to the scene of Kiho's dad trying to sign a life insurance policy that will make Kiho a beneficiary. The life insurance agent seems to be a childhood friend of Kiho and Mocha. Mr. Jung reveals that he's still looking for Kiho and will start looking for Mocha to get to his son. The friend calls his wife, who we realize is Mocha's childhood best friend, and they set out to protect her. Mocha and Ranju get drunk, and Ranju makes promises to her to get her an audition so that she can make her a star. Sojun calls Ranju the next day to confirm that she was in fact serious about her. And then while she's on the phone, Bogle, Woohak, and Mocha overhear the conversation. This is where we realize that that she has no real authority at the agency. Ranju begs Sojun to give her an audition, even if it's not a real one, and he agrees. In this moment, Mocha feels sympathy for Ranju and something must have happened to her to make her life so pitiful. Cut to a scene where Kiho's dad is having dinner with the old neighbors that took over Mocha's family's restaurant. They tell Mr. Jung that Mocha came looking for Kiho and after she was rescued. The neighbors gave Mr. Jung Woohak's business card, further motivating him to seek him out in order to get to Mocha. The associate that has been acting as Ranju's manager then attends a meeting with Bogle's network to once again get Ranju to appear on Haiii. He lies that Ranju has developed stage fright and turns down the offer. Manager man, because I don't have a name for him, reports back to Sojun, and Sojun presses him to keep Ranju out of the spotlight, ensuring him that it won't be for much longer. Ranju and Mocha go to the audition, and Sojun basically kills it, stating that Mocha is past her prime because she's 31, and the only thing she can do now is manage what's left of Ranju's career. Mocha accepts the offer to manage Ranju and realizes that Sojun is taking advantage of her by keeping her small. Mocha encourages Ranju to stand up for herself because Sojun is afraid of her and wants to keep the company to himself. Ranju takes Mocha's words to heart and storms in on a shareholders meeting, outing Sojun in front of the board, and half of the company will be hers when she meets her album sales requirement of 20 million sales. Mocha does the math for the remaining sales that Ranju needs to meet her goal and works with Bogle to get her on TV and increases her popularity. Ranju arrives home defeated, but her spirits are lifted when her new manager, Mocha, shows her the gig she's booked for her. Ranju is delighted, but still wants Mocha to sing for her during the show. And that's the summary for episode 3.
That's a lot to take in.
That is a lot to take in.
It is a lot to take in. But let me tell you, freaking amazing episode. I really liked the development of their relationship. Like, you really see
of Ranju and Mocha.
Of Ranju and Mocha. You really see that she just is enamored by her, but then at the same time, Ranju also is enamored by Mocha.
Yeah.
So they carry each other very, very well throughout the episode. And also, one more thing. That scene when she is living her fangirl fantasies, they are wearing pink. And okay, let me paint the scene for you, okay? They're talking to each other, they're yapping, and then they're like, oh my God, do you want to sing my old song? And then we flash back into like Britney Spears, 1996, and they're like dressed in like these crop tops, and it's all pink head to toe. They have bows in their hair, and they're just singing the song together. Like, that's top tier, like, fangirl moment.
Fangirl fantasy.
Yes, that's a fangirl fantasy to get to sing with your favorite singer.
Cute.
Yeah, that was really cute. What were some of your favorite parts?
I lost it during that part and immediately right after, because we were just talking. The moment that Woohak let slip, that's why I'm hiding her in the attic. and you just see Bogle's face fall and he dips. I was like, it'd be so funny if he walks in on them and then that's exactly what happened. Just the fact that he was so dumbfounded because they were mid like what? And he's just like, introduces himself, bows, nice to see you, and then leaves.
That's because he's taken back by Ranju.
He didn't expect to see her. He expected to only find Mocha there. And from what we can tell so far, he kind of has a crush on Ranju.
Yeah.
And I think it's really funny. I mentioned this in the last episode where I really love the parallel of Buhak being enamored by Mocha, watching her sing the same way that Kiho was when he was a kid, but also watching Bogle have the same experience simultaneously with Ranju.
Right.
So he's very enamored with her. He's very into her. And I'm eager to see how that develops.
Yeah.
I was really touched right before they got drunk. I was really touched by them sharing their stories about how Mocha was sharing with Ranju how she felt very lonely and everything on the island and how she had lost count or she had lost hope about 6 years in trying to count the days because she wanted to keep track of herself.
Right.
And that's when she took the plunge, right?
Yes.
So the fact that this icebox is what saved her, and this pack, sometimes all you need is a pack of ramyun just to make you feel better.
Oh my god, yeah. When she was tasting that ramen and it's like you haven't tasted ramen in 6 years, like she was like, oh my god, this is what food tastes like. I can imagine like just it's kind of like being in jail. Thinking about it, like you're in jail, you like 6 years, like imagine counting on a wall days because it's the only way she can track time, right? She doesn't have phone, she doesn't have anything, so just numbers on a rock, like that's pretty insane to me. Also, the part where Ranju comes back, we thought that something was going to happen, but in reality, she just wanted to ride back to Seoul. That was freaking priceless. I freaking loved it. Was so funny. That. What about you?
Well, no, I was saying that the continuation of the icebox thing, it was really sweet that I like what you mentioned about how Ranju sees a lot of herself in Mocha.
Right.
And I think that's why she feels so refreshed and like reminded of why she loved being a singer in the first place. And there is a moment where, like, after she tells her about the nodes on her vocal cords, there's a moment where she looks at Mocha and she tells her, "You're my icebox."
Yeah.
And it's so, so sweet to like just how the turntables.
Yeah.
Because Ranju was such a source of comfort and strength for Mocha when she was a kid and she's being abused by her dad.
Yeah.
And now that Ranju's having a hard time, Mocha is a source of strength for her.
That's a really nice parallel.
That reciprocation is really nice. And then she like later goes on to like make her do exercises to try to strengthen her vocal cords, like by breathing through a straw and stuff. And it was really, really sweet.
That is cute. Let's talk about the dad really quick.
Oh,
because we saw a few glimpses of the dad. Like, I'm not sure if this man is trying to be out here and kill his son.
I don't know what his deal is. Like, what his end game is.
Because we saw in episode 1, and was it either 1 or 2? I can't remember right now. No, it was episode 1 where Kiho made his dad lose his job at the police station.
Yes, at the very end of the episode, we find out that when he ran away from home, he told the police about his dad and he lost his job.
Right. So I'm not sure if he's out here trying to find his son to like avenge his job loss. Is he just trying
his honor?
Yeah.
Because he ultimately like made a fool of him. Right?
He did. And like, is he, because we also see in episode 1 and 2 that he is angry at his son because he keeps saying, "Are you trying to leave me like your mother left me?"
Yes, that is so true. And he also tried to run away once and was unsuccessful.
Right.
So he like, I guess, beat him up and brought him back once before.
Right.
So but now it's been 15 years.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what are you trying to accomplish? He's not going to want to talk to you.
Right.
But
so it's just confusing. He is persistent. So I just don't know. I had compared it to the episode, like I said, of Enough. Like, Enough, if you don't know, is pretty much a story about an abusive husband that is trying to pretty much avenge his honor against his wife by killing her.
Oh.
So it's the entire movie they're trying to avenge. He's trying to avenge his name.
I haven't seen enough. I was thinking of Obsessed or Obsession, that movie with Beyonce.
No,
That's
no.
what I was thinking of.
We have to watch it one day. But it really gave me those vibes. It really, really gave me the vibes of them.
With that being said, I do it was very interesting to me that he is so persistent because we see it when he has a conversation with the neighbors, right? That took over the restaurant.
Right.
And then the first scene that we see of him is when he's talking to the insurance agent, which is their childhood friend.
Yeah.
I don't get that at all.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. He signed Kiho over as his beneficiary, right?
Right. But then even the childhood friend was advising against, he's like, you haven't seen him in 15 years. You don't even know if he's dead.
Right.
And he makes the argument, well, Mocha survived.
Right.
So he knows that she's out there.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the news story.
Right, exactly. So he knows that she's out there.
Right.
So I think
assumes
he's going to use her to get to Kiho. And that is a fact, but I just don't understand why.
What's his motive? Why?
Maybe he wants to kill his son.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. He definitely wants to kill his son. I also really, really liked at the end of episode 3, we see a beautiful Mocha singing the song, and you see the same mesmerized eyes in the Bokyo.
Yeah, I mess up his name all the time. The spelling of it is difficult for me still, so I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, you see how mesmerized he is, as mesmerized by her voice as he was when he heard Ranju's voice for the first time.
I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're so right. He walks up onto, because the camera's following Woo-hak. And so this is after when they decide that she's going to do the show. Ranju tells her that you should do this song, sing for me, right? Do this song because Kiho inspired it.
Yes.
Kiho came and found her after he came to Seoul and waited outside of her house in the snow, and she, I guess, took pity and brought him something warm, and he's like, no, I don't want anything. Just, if you ever see this girl and it's a picture of Mocha when they were young, just hug her. And that's exactly what happened. She hugged her after she came off of stage at the festival. Yeah, it was very, very touching. And then, so she recites the song and she's practicing, right?
Right.
And then that's where we see Bogyo on the rooftop when Woo-hak comes to find him.
Yeah.
And he's got that exact same expression. So I think this is where he's starting to piece
the pieces together.
Yeah, because he's so just in awe of her.
Yeah, definitely. So far, at least by the end of episode 3, my speculations of Woo-hak being Kiho are growing stronger and stronger.
I feel like it could very possibly be, because they even gave him the glasses and everything, right? But I feel like it's too obvious.
And that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Deep down,
yeah,
I feel. I don't know how, but I have a gut feeling that it's Bogyo.
Yeah, but we don't.
But that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense here. It makes more sense at the next episode. That concludes, because at the end of
I thought that even in episode 2.
Right.
I said that to you.
Yeah, and I didn't believe that.
I was like, it doesn't make sense. But I have a feeling.
Yeah, you did have, and we don't know yet. We haven't gotten to the end yet, but oh my God, I don't know. Maybe
I flip-flopped back and forth. I was like, maybe it is Woo-hak.
Yeah, maybe Woo-hak will be too obvious, but I still don't know. At the end of episode 3, I had a feeling. By the end of episode 4, I did have a feeling the other way around, but we'll tell you why in a second.
Feelings.
I had many feelings. Oh my God, I had so many emotions. My emotions were emotioning, But yeah, so let's get into episode 4 so we can ride the wave. And let me tell you, episode 3 was crazy. Episode 4, bro. Oh my God, I lost my shit. I was at the
edge of my seat. Damaris was off of her seat.
I was jumping. I was like, ah, ah. It was really good though. It was really good. All right, let me start right here in the notes. Okay, so we ended episode 3 with her singing a beautiful song, close scene. Episode 4 begins with the 4 main characters preparing for Ranju's appearance in Haiii. The concept of the show is a battle against herself. So we see her, like videos of her in 2008. I think she's going to battle herself in the year we found out is 2022. So she's battling herself. At the end of the production day, Bokyo gives Mocha a hard time about how she plans to communicate with him and the rest of the crew, because Mocha has no cell phone reception or anything. She's lived on an island for 15 years, so she doesn't know what her phone is. Like, they were still on flip phone times. So he's bullying her into getting his cell phone and learning how to drive. She kind of walks away and disgruntled by his attitude because she doesn't have any money. So how is she going to buy a phone? She doesn't have anything. Like, she just got off an island that she's been stuck at for 15 years. So she's walking by and she sees a help wanted sign on their family salon. So she walks in there, asks them for a job really cutely, and then they hire her.
You're so excited.
It is really exciting. Wook-up tries to eat lunch with multiple people and unsuccessfully winds up with his parent at his parents' salon having lunch with Mocha. She shares her worries that she fears Kiho is dead because he hasn't come to look for her yet. And Wook-up confronts her. No. Comforts her. English, sorry. Wook-up comforts her by sharing his own story. So we learn here that he sustained a head injury, which is why he can't remember anything before high school, that he adapted to living with his lost memories, and that he tells her that Kiho may have gone through something similar or something the same, so she shouldn't assume the worst. Mocha asks Wook-up to never eat by himself again because she knows how lonely it can be. She talks about her time, so she ate alone on the island, how she even baited a seagull to eat with her. It was really cute during this part, by the way. She also asked him to call her anytime. Then we cut to Seo-jun reviewing Ranju's booking of Haiii, which is the manager / however. It seems like he's trying to set things up to sabotage her appearance. We then come to find out that the producer of Haiii co-founded an I Hate Ranju club when she was in her prime. So Ranju was obviously a diva back when she was in her prime. So she definitely had an I Hate You club. Sorry guys, I lost my spot here. Give me one moment.
Hold on, while you do that, I'm gonna fix this. I leaned down to get my water bottle, and I didn't think about how this would rub against my shirt because it flip-flops, so I'm sorry.
It's okay. So it seems like he's trying to sabotage her before. Okay, so we find that the I Hate Ranju club, Mocha and Ranju arrive to the Haiii set, and they are surprised that Seo-jun had sent a treat and drink stand for the crew and for the show to support Ranju, right? And her performance. He even went out of his way to buy her a new dress and book her favorite stylist, which she finds it delightful, but Mocha finds it kind of suspicious. They're suspicious of Seo-jun's behavior, and they think that he's trying to continue to manipulate her. So Mocha has a conversation with Ranju and brings her back to reality.
Ranju even spits out her chocolate.
I know. Ranju refuses to sing during her mic check, and Bokyo starts to piece together that it's Mocha who's singing for her. Fast forward to the performance, Mocha sneaks Ranju into a prop mic. That way, obviously, Mocha can sing for her. Sings her a prop mic to use for the performance. She successfully sings for her. And then she wins the contest, which is beautiful. During her thank you speech, Ranju thanks Kiho for being the inspiration of the song, which she and Mocha had kind of talked about prior to the performance. Cut to a shot of Kiho's dad watching the broadcast, looking very suspicious. After the performance, Bokyo meets Mocha while she waits for Ranju, insisting that she manage her better and that she sticks to the script. He's upset that they talked about Kiho on live TV. Weird, right? The next day, Ranju is giving great news that her special broke viewership records. She celebrates with Mocha by reading the headlines about the performance. When they get a glimpse of what seems to be Ranju as an old lady, which we really don't know much information after that.
It was really random, but I was like, It was kind of cool, but it was random.
It was
like, what's
really
happening?
random. It was really random. Flowers arrive at Woohak's office for Mocha, supposedly from Kiho, stating that he will be there, quote unquote, at 8 p.m. Bokyo comes to eat with Woohak in the cafeteria, and he sees that he's really upset. Woohak tells him what's wrong about that he was wrong about him thinking that it was a real Kohu, so he feels bad after he realizes that he's not the real Kihu, because obviously the real Kihu wants her to go to the real place. And Bokyo immediately gets alarmed and runs after Mocha. Ranju, we skip back to Ranju, plays Sojun a visit to uncover his intentions. He admits to her that he felt guilty because he was trying to make it up to her. We find out that they have some kind of romantic history because of their body language, and he stops them from kissing, and he admits to her that he sabotaged her album sales so no one can buy and she can't sell her albums anymore. Messed up. Pissed. Woohak is reviewing the footage of an editor of a story that he's working, so he goes back to work after he eaten his lunch, about noise pollution in Seoul. The loud noise triggers a memory of Kiho hiding from his father, we assume, and he tries to run away, and his father had found him. Woohak passes out, then he wakes up, and he's confused by the memory and even more confused about who he is and his identity. He realizes that the man who delivered the flowers is the same man that appears in his memory, and then he runs after Mocha. Mocha waits for Kiho in the rain when she notices Kiho's dad. She panics and she runs away. The dad follows her, and a hooded figure appears and intervenes. He helps her get away from Kiho's dad, and then when she calls out for him and she's like, Kiho, we find out that it is Bogyo.
Mm-hmm.
And that is how the end of episode 4. I have goosebumps. Like, you see the goosebumps that came, like, look.
Like, I feel like I'm experiencing it again. Like, I'm just thinking of everything it was so suspenseful. Everything happened so quickly.
Yes. The moment, and okay. So by the end of episode 4, it may be Bokyo.
So my theory, and then we'll get into everything else. I just feel like I need to get this out of the way.
Go.
What if it is Bogyo, and that's why he is so, like, angry and defensive about and protective of Woohak?
Right.
My theory is that Kiho ran away, lived in Seoul for a while. His dad found him. Kiho and Bogyo were friends, or Bogyo and Woohak were friends. And he got hurt, the head injury, trying to protect him during that memory.
Yeah.
And the voice that you hear saying Aputi, which is dad, right, is Kiho's voice. That he was there when it happened, and that's when he got hurt.
Yeah.
So I know that sounds really confusing, but that's just my theory right now. It feels very far-fetched, but I'm like, maybe. Also, let me tell you, this actor that plays Bogyo, wow.
You know, beautiful man. I think Woohak is a little hot. I like the glasses.
They're both very handsome.
They're both
very handsome. But I just had to get that out there because I was like,
I agree. So at first I was hell bent.
It's the squishy cheeks.
Yeah, it is. I was hell bent on it having to be Woohak that is Kiho.
So many things like pointed at that too.
Right. But you're right, it is too obvious. So I think your theory's kind of correct.
It's plausible. I don't want to say I'm correct yet because we're only on episode 4.
Right. But I think it makes sense. I mean, granted, there's only 12 episodes I found out. So we're halfway through. We're almost halfway through, guys. And
that's insane.
It is insane.
I'm so used to like 16 episodes.
It is insane. So I think your theory may be right. In this episode, I also really liked the conversation that they had about the walnuts.
Yes.
They had, so in it kind of started back with Woohak having lunch with Mocha. They had their brief discussion about, their whatever. And then when it cuts to Mocha and Ranju, she was telling her about how she had gone on and how she got tired of eating the potatoes because the potatoes is what allowed her to survive on the island. Mm-hmm. So she saw these walnuts and she's like, they look beautiful, but they're poisonous, you know, but honestly.
She found out they were poisonous by mistake.
Yeah, she found out.
But then at this point, she ate them on purpose.
Yes. So they were poisonous because they made her throw up when she ate them. But she was so hungry and she was so tired of eating potatoes that she just decided to endure the poison and just eat something different. Which is what sparks Ranju to go visit the manager. Mm-hmm.
And I really like that analogy because you can tell that you can see the cycle.
Right.
That Ranju, even though she knows that something is off, that something is bad about Sojun, she keeps going back to him. Because he's comfortable, because he's familiar, because they built something together.
Yeah, trauma bond.
Right? And the thing is that, like, I want to know what happened. Because at the beginning, when he, like, basically begs her and respects her so highly to sign with him, even though he had nothing to offer her, what changed for him to go on to take advantage of her?
Yeah. And my theory is, honestly, it might be money, but my theory is I think she threw her career away. She became a diva, and granted, now we understand this because she had nodes and she had surgery and didn't tell anyone.
She was a diva before the nodes, I think. Like when she was with the big agency still.
Yes. She was a diva before the nodes, but she still had a soft spot for her manager, her driver at the time.
Right.
So I don't know if she just started to become a diva with him and he was like, this was a bad decision, and then just at some point I think it switched, or what?
I think it has something to do with their romantic relationship, because I didn't think that
That's right.
It could very be like that things turned sour when maybe things broke up or go something his way or whatever. Or maybe it's been an on again, off again thing for a really long time. Like, we don't know yet. This is the first glimpse, but because she has access to his house. She literally just walks in. He's alone in his apartment.
Same password. She's never changed it.
Exactly. She's like, I guess it's the same passcode. And then she tries to make amends with him, it seems. And she does her little flirty thing. She comes on to him. And then you can just tell he feels genuinely remorseful.
Right.
But he chose him over her.
Yeah.
And that made me really sad, because she just starts crying, because he basically, so the sabotage of the sales, he bought up every last album that she had. Like, they can't sell, she literally physically cannot sell anymore, not online, not in stores. Everything is gone. She's never going to meet that quota, which means that she will never get half of the company shares.
Yes.
So he robbed her of
her
everything.
Chance. He robbed her of money. He robbed her of everything. And it was just really, really cruel. And I just don't understand where the switch came.
Yeah. And then I do wonder if he knows about her notes, and just like, because she said she hid it from everyone, but I wonder if he knows and just never said anything to her because she never shared with him.
Right.
She can't like go off and make another singing career with another agency. She literally has nothing if this doesn't work out.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, she has Mocha. Mocha could get rich, I guess.
Yeah. But now, the part that made me like scream and jump out of my seat was when Woo-hak had the thing in his earpiece in his ear, and he started seeing the flashback memories of the dad. In that moment, I screamed. I was like, he's Kiho! He's Kiho! He's Kiho! I knew it! Oh my God! It was so obvious. But then you shared your theory, and that just makes 10 times more sense. I was just emotional in the moment.
Honestly, it still could be Woo-hak. It really could go either which way. Granted, it would be so anticlimactic if some dude comes out of the woodwork and he's like, like that. It has to be one of them.
Yeah,
it absolutely has to be.
I'm also curious to see, because we see a little bit of parallels in the new driver for Ranju,
the one that's acting as her manager.
Yes, the one that's acting as her manager.
How so?
Like, why is he acting as her manager? Why is her manager not acting as her manager?
Well,
what are his motives?
Well, not anymore, because Mocha took over.
Right, of course.
But based off of the call that we see, like after he basically turns down the Haiii thing initially, before Mocha becomes her manager, Sojun is far too busy and he's managing however many other artists, right? We hear about the girl that got signed instead of Mocha.
Yeah.
So we know he's managing her, but he's also running his company.
Right.
So I guess he has this person just kind of like shuffling her around and making sure she doesn't cause big problems for his company. And then after he turns down the Haiii offer, he calls Sojun, and that's when they have that phone call, and we see that he's using this guy to control Ranju. So I think he's just following orders, honestly. I think he just works there.
Interesting. Something else that I noticed, and I can't tell if it was episode 3 or episode 4, when we saw the change of the company. He was gonna change the name of the company to Rhythm and
Joy instead of Ranju Entertainment.
Yeah.
So we see it at when you see he just works there.
Interesting. Something else that I noticed, and I can't tell if it was episode 3 or episode 4, when we saw the change of the company. He was gonna change the name of the company to Rhythm and Joy
instead of Ranju Entertainment.
Yeah.
So we see it at when you see Sojun giving his panel. He's announcing we always go forward with new talent and we're gonna rebrand.
Yeah.
And then he changes it there. But then when Mocha and Ranju actually show up, they see them changing the signs.
Yes. Just a really random thought, not too much with the drama, but I saw kind of a lot of parallels in how he was explaining the next best artist that they're going to be kicking out, kind of the way the K-pop industry works now. There's so many artists that are just like debuted, and then like the old ones are cycled off and they go and do different projects and stuff. And it works the same way in America, but Beyonce has been an artist for like...
There are some artists also within the K music industry that are the same, that they've withstood the test of time.
Absolutely.
But I think it happens in the music industry all of the time, regardless of where in the world.
So, but to me, the K-pop, I disagree. To me, it does not work that way. They teach you how to sing. They teach you how to. You just have to be teachable. So I disagree with you on that. I feel that
I can see what you're saying, though.
The parallel in that really, really displayed how the K-pop industry specifically works. To me, there's no training program here.
Well, yeah,
there's no one that's going to take you and train you.
Herself is an idol, so it makes sense.
Yeah. So I really thought that was interesting.
The nature of their industry.
I really thought that was interesting that they showed that, and I'm like, noted. But what are your thoughts? I am kind of sticking to your theory. I definitely think that...
I don't want to put all of my eggs in one basket. Also, I think that Boyeol is in love with Mocha. He's just not saying so.
Yeah, but what is his fascination with Ranju then? His initial... Is it just the voice? Was it just the voice?
I think... So he's seen Ranju.
Right.
Like he knows who she is.
Yeah.
But he had that moment when he saw her sing.
Right.
And then he realizes that it's Mocha.
Right.
But also he's hiding something. He is
hiding something.
From the moment that Woohak started confronting him about like, am I Kiho and my memories, he was so quick to shut it down. Also, he's very grumpy with his brother.
He is.
But he protects him. He's very protective of him.
Very, very much so.
So something...
cooking, a brewing.
Something is happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to Ranju, especially now that we got this clip of her being old and like daydreaming.
That clip was really freaking weird.
She was reminiscing.
Yeah.
Literally the titles that they were reading present time on their laptop about like the headlines from the Haiii show is what she was talking about as an old lady.
Yeah.
At what I can only assume is like a nursing home or something.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know what's happening.
Me neither. But I think this is a good place to kind of end here. Something we didn't do last week because we were excited. We did in our trailer, but we didn't do last week, so we're going to make up for today. We didn't give you a song recommendation. We're going to be better.
We did say we were going to do that.
We did say we were going to do that. So we're going to come at you today. Do you have a song recommendation?
I do.
All right, go first.
So the boys released an album, The Fantasy Part 2, and I'm really obsessed with a song called Honey on it.
Oh, I love that.
It's very sensual.
Yeah.
It's not cutesy at all.
Oh.
But it's all in English, which made it super easy. The moment I heard it, I was like, excuse me. I was like, this is a lot, sir. So that is my recommendation for you if you like spicy music.
I love that. And I'm going to go complete opposite because I'm an R&B girl. I am going to give you Blue by V. It's on his album.
Yeah.
It came out, I want to say May or June. Honestly, the entire album is beautiful, but it's called Blue. It's by V, or Taehyung from BTS.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. It's just, the vibe is nice. You can really listen to it. Honestly, it's just super mellow. I really, really love it. And I suggest that you listen to that song.
I do really like that one. Yes.
Yeah. So, I think that's it.
All right. So I hope that you guys liked today's episode. Share your theories and comments in the comments below.
Or watch it with us. If you haven't discipled, if you haven't noticed, this is actually a really, really great drama. Or if you haven't depicted by what we were doing, this is a really great drama. I would really love if you guys joined us and watched it with us. Like, let us know what you think. Like, if you've never watched a drama before, I think this is a really great drama to start with. Because it's an easy story to follow. It's not too in depth like other K-dramas are, but it gives you just enough action, just enough romance, just enough suspense for you to stay hooked very quickly. So I would highly suggest that you watch with us.
I'm really, really enjoying it so far. But also, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you liked what you saw here today. We are officially on all platforms for the podcast version of this as well. So don't forget to like and rate us on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever the other one is.
Wherever you listen to podcasts, just make sure you leave a star comment there.
And then make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Eat good food. Drink water because that's important. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.